Hello, my name's Owen and welcome to the JOL Wedding Podcast. Join myself and my co-host Caroline as we bring you all the inspiration and advice you need whilst planning your wedding. Hi everybody, welcome to the JOL Wedding Podcast. Bit of a different scenery today. We're not in our living room.
Tidy up.
And we've got two very special guests, Angela and Holly, for
All about venues.
all about venues at the amazing Hawkstone Hall.
So Hawkstone Hall is one of our most amazing venues that we come to. So we just thought, why not come here and have a chat and find out everything about what couples need to look for when thinking about venues.
How are you both?
Yeah, good, thank
All
you.
good.
It's lovely to have you here.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I didn't have to make the coffees.
No, we got them brought to us for a change. So if we go into kind of venues and what are the main things, we'll start with you, Angela, what are the main things that a couple coming into wedding planning needs to look for in their venue?
Okay, so I think depending on what they have in mind, obviously it's the size of the venue, how many guests they're going to have, the location. So we're obviously in Shropshire, so we're mid-country, so we're ideal for wherever anybody's going to come, Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, or even further afield. You know, we do have guests, brides and grooms overseas, and it's an ideal place because we've got the airports as well to fly the guests in, and then we've got the 36 bedrooms, so we can have guests stay on site, and it's just brings everything all nicely together. I mean, we've got lots of things that we can offer. We've got the space, we've got the gardens, so we've got 88 acres, 66 of wooded sheepland at the front, and we've got 22 manicured landscape gardens at the back that you love. You love to go around.
Oh my God, they are absolutely amazing.
We've got, as you know, our little love buggy.
Yes.
We take the bride and groom and the photographers and videographers around so that you can get the best shots in the garden. But if the weather's not good, don't dismay. We have the most fantastic inside spaces.
I think that's really important. When couples are looking to get married, obviously, they start to think about obviously time of year, don't they? So is it going to be a spring wedding, a summer wedding, peak season? Is it going to be your Christmas, beautiful Christmas ones? You've got to think about the inside and outside space, don't you? Because if it's a winter wedding and it is absolutely freezing outside, you need somewhere to have your pictures done. You need somewhere that's beautiful, really nice and light as well. So here, this is why we just absolutely love it, because you've just got the best of both worlds. The gardens are absolutely amazing. Any time of year, obviously we shot weddings in December, February, summer. They're just absolutely beautiful. So you've got, like I say, you've got that blend of both. Which
I think every bride hopes, and every groom hopes for good weather.
Yes.
You know, that, and so, but we're limited obviously in this country with the guarantee, and even in summer you're not guaranteed of that good weather. So I think for us, we probably tick all boxes. You know,
definitely.
They come to Hawkstone and look at the building for the building itself. If you get the gardens and it's nice weather, that's just an added bonus. Because you've got all the indoor spaces.
We spoke to a couple, they came to see us at a wedding fair, and I said, what venue you choose? And she goes, we've got a few in mind. So it's really good when you're picking venues, probably obviously get brochures, get the information, and then go and see the venue. Because as soon as you go and see them, you sort of know instantly, don't you? You get that feeling that, I think when you leave a venue and you smile.
You have the feeling.
You do. You think that you're definitely that's where I'm going to get married.
Yeah. It's like when you're buying a house.
Yeah.
You walk in
and you know.
And you have that warm glow inside.
And you
can see it. You can see exactly what you want. And I think, I mean, even from the top of that hill, the first time I ever came here, you come over the brow of the hill, I had to stop and I just sat in my car and I looked at the building and I thought...
you took a picture.
I did.
And you're like,
oh gosh. Yeah, because it's the first impression, it's that wow factor. But it's not intimidating.
No.
You walk in, the fire's going, and you just think, oh gosh, I'm home.
Yeah, you do.
And that's how we I think where we'd probably set ourselves aside from other people is we want people to feel like they're coming into our home.
Yeah.
It's warm, it's
welcoming,
it's full of love.
Yeah, and that's what you want, because you're bringing your whole families together.
So important.
So that is But when I spoke to this couple, I said, "Oh, what venues?" And she sort of rattled off a couple of venues. And she's on going to go see Hawkstone Hall next week, and I went, oh, "Okay." I said, "You'll go there, and then you will discount every other venue. There are other venues available. I'm not going to just push this venue." But and I was like, "You can't compare." And she emailed over and she said, "Been to see Hawks," and she goes, "Oh my God, Kaz, you were right." And she goes, "Definitely they booked, and they came to see us the other week and booked us," which is just absolutely amazing. But I think that is when you get that gut instinct of going round. So it's nice looking at websites and everything like that, but until you go and visit those venues, that is when you get your gut instinct of you think that's where I want to get married.
Well, that's why we have our open days.
Yes.
So that we can invite potential brides and grooms to come along, see us from that bride and groom perspective, and that's when we invite, our videographers, our cake people, our cake ladies, our florists, suit hire companies, wedding dresses,
all the recommended suppliers you have, you invite along.
Possibly need on your wedding day, we ask to come to our open days so that you can see
exactly
what's available.
What could potentially be on the day.
But also you've got the rooms all set up exactly like what you'd have on a wedding. So the ballrooms all dressed up, so you'd have exactly like what a person could have for their wedding.
Yeah, definitely.
And the chapel. So you go in there, you think, actually, you don't have to envision it. It's there all laid out for you.
And then they put their little notes to make it bespoke to them.
Yes.
And it just transforms. Every wedding is just so different. And I remember all of them.
Yeah, it's crazy though, isn't it? Because we've got the same rooms.
And they're very detailed rooms.
Yeah.
So you can either go one end of the spectrum and go completely wild out there, massive centerpieces, or something nice and simple.
Really simple.
Yeah,
and it just works.
They're just amazing, absolutely amazing. So, like you say, you can really put your own stamp on it.
Yes.
Or actually, you can do very little, and it still look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, speaking to some people at the wedding open day, and they said that chapel is that beautiful on its own. You don't even need to put flowers or anything. That's just an added bonus in.
Yeah. We've got so many different things that we offer within the package anyway.
Yeah.
So the blossom trees, the lanterns,
it's just those
the
little
globes.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need too much once you've got us.
Exactly. I mean, obviously when we were based at the wedding, it was just at the bottom of the chapel, and a girl came in, she walked up the stairs and she actually burst into tears right in front of everyone because it was that amazing. You do that every single time you walk in.
We do sometimes. But it's a very emotional room, I think, the chapel specifically, where when it was owned by the church and it was religious, and now it isn't. It's only legal ceremonies that take place in there. But you've still got that atmosphere and that sense that it's just such an important space. And for a hotel as well, but a country house at the same time, to have somewhere on site like the chapel, it's just you couldn't ask for anything more.
I think it's also nice for couples when they're planning their day. Especially for timings, really. It's when you go to some venues, you have got one room, you get married in that room. You have to vacate that room to get ready for the wedding breakfast. And then you have your wedding breakfast there, then they have to come back out again, and then they'll turn it over for your evening, where that's just a huge lot of faff, and people go
too much stress on me, to be honest.
But also you lose some of your day because you have to find somewhere to put that 120 guests so that we can do that job.
So it's nice, like for here, you get married in the chapel, you'll come and have your drinks reception, and then you'll go into the ballroom for your wedding breakfast, and then obviously then you go on and have your evening do and evening reception in another room. So you've got that nice flow.
It has exactly that. It's a flow. You take your guests on that journey. You start down the one end, move down to the party in the evening, and it just it just takes your guests on that journey.
And also it's value for money. You get to use the whole hotel.
Exactly. It's exclusive use.
Yeah.
So it makes it even more special.
It's just like having one big family party for us, because we get to know our brides and grooms so well. Yeah. And not just the brides and grooms,
but their
families, their parents, their sisters, their dogs.
Their dogs.
Their dogs.
Especially the dogs.
Especially the dogs. We love the dogs. But we try and get to know them all, so that on that day we've got a really good rapport with all of them. And because it's not just about the brides and grooms, is it? It is about it's the whole wedding
all
party.
The families.
And it's so important to some. Well, all of them, isn't it? So it's important to us.
Yeah. So how does that process start? So a bride and groom come in and they want to book. How does that process kind of go from there in terms of meetings and things like that? Do you have quite a few meetings to kind of schedule
so
things
definitely
in?
From that initial inquiry, of course, couples come to us with their proposed date or time of year that they want to look into, and then we speak to them and kind of get to know a little bit more about them as a couple. Bring them in for a viewing, of course. Those couples that we mentioned before, like international couples, we have we do virtual viewings. But I think the most important thing was bringing them to us, bringing them in. I love to get to know our couples. Asking all about how they got engaged and how long they've been engaged, because it's just so exciting. It's the best bit, looking at lots of different venues. And then of course, when couples do choose to go with us, it's just that journey that we go on with them. We're there as much as they can't say that. We're there as much as they need us to be.
And so each individual couple is different. So we might have 20 meetings with some, and we might only have 2 with some
another,
because they are so organised. They already know what they want. They've got it in their head. They've even got their table plan before everything else. They've got
just
the mood board's already been there for 10 years.
Good old Pinterest.
So they're so on it. And then other brides and grooms,
I hold their hand. Which is okay. And it's nice because they feel comfortable enough to come speak to anybody here about any concern they have about their different suppliers and what they think they should do with this space, and we're there just to help guide them, make their vision come true, because we can see how it can be done from an outsider's perspective.
It's that trust you have. It's the trust the couples have with you, which same as with us when we have our meetings with them. They trust us to capture their day the way obviously we normally do, but the way they want as well.
And I think that the more visits that they make, they get to know the whole team. And this is what makes us special, is the team that we have. You know,
they are incredible. They often
everything
they do.
And I think that is so important, because obviously we go to so many different venues, and from a client going in to potentially book that venue, they then book it, and then by the time their day comes, maybe 18 months, 2 years plans, they've could have gone through 2 or 3 different wedding planners. So it's really important where you've got that person that you can trust. I know it sounds funny, but couples will have the most silliest question, well, they think is the most silliest question to ask. You're thinking, who do I ask? Oh, do I bother them with just that simple question?
And yes, the answer is yes, you do.
You certainly do.
But they can actually go, just drop us an email, and they can go, oh, what about this? I've been thinking about it, 2 o'clock in the morning, ping, I've got this silly question, email, and obviously you'll get back to them and reassure them that actually it's not a stupid question. We probably get asked of it so many times,
but it's a question that they've never gotten married before.
That's it. It's
they're doing this for the first time, so you've got to make sure that it's that individual experience for each couple, that it's so special, and it is so special, and that's why we love
this is what we do. This is what we do. We love this industry. We love the couples. And obviously they invest so much in us, but we have to invest so much into them as well. So going back to the chapel, so obviously you do your civils here in the chapel, which is absolutely amazing. Obviously you need to check out the photos that will, obviously the links that we put onto this video as well. So the registrars, they obviously under Shropshire County Council, aren't they?
Yes.
For here?
Yeah.
So will you think about specific timings to say we recommend this time of getting married, or is it all open to whatever the couple wants? Or
we definitely encourage towards that early afternoon, just because it's that sweet spot in terms of timing. It's the perfect lighting. You've got plenty of time in the morning to get ready. You're not rushed. You're not getting up at the crack of dawn. I think people underestimate how long the day is. A 5 a.m. start to keep going until midnight is very difficult when you've got that much adrenaline going through you.
I was going to say, it's the adrenaline that you have. Yeah.
From 6 o'clock in the morning, your makeup artist is knocking on the door. Hello. We're here to make you over. So when you think from 6 o'clock that morning, and then you're going all the way through to the evening.
Midnight, exactly.
Yeah. But it's nice. Obviously, we do weddings at all different times, but for us, having that sweet spot in early afternoon, I think, like for the bridal suite, where obviously they're getting ready room for here.
Oh my God, it's stunning.
It's my favourite.
It is a dream, the natural light that comes in, but it's so lovely because it's a large space where the bride can get ready for all her bridesmaids and everything.
Everyone's there.
And I know it sounds weird, but you've got that little details that, for us as photographers, makes our life so much easier. You've got somewhere to hang the dress.
Yeah.
You haven't got to think about
and the bridesmaids' dresses.
And
there's the 4 hair and makeup stations, so you can all get ready at the same time. It's not like you've got to wait for so and so to have her hair and makeup done, and then you go on to, we've been up there and there's been 4 different hair and makeup parties. It's been very, very busy,
so
as you know, up there sometimes, and you're like,
you're not cramped, it's so much space. And then when you're thinking about obviously venues, a lot of brides like to get ready at the venue, so they come the night before, they stay the night before, all with their entourage, have that that meal, face packs, whatever they want to do for the evening. But it's nice that they're all together. So again, when you start thinking about venues, thinking about obviously where you're going to get ready is a major thing to think about. But obviously you've got the groom pad, which we love.
A lot of venues don't really cater much for the groom in the morning, whereas obviously here, having that famous the cave down down the hall, it's a dream to have for a groom to go with his boys, with the groomsmen. And have a drink.
Have a whiskey.
Have a whiskey.
Shoot some pool. Even
you got
the football, whatever.
Yeah, you got the foosball table in there.
I just love. I've seen some photos that you've done down there and some videography, and it's the little bits about even putting the buttonholes on. Just the camaraderie between them, and you can see the love and the friendship, and it's just such a great.
To do it.
But it's not all about the bride. It's actually about the groom sometimes.
Absolutely. And it is really, really great. It's wonderful. We're very clever.
Very clever.
We are very clever.
I think and again, I know it sounds really hard for couples to envision, but it is. You've got to really think about the small little bits, like getting ready, what time you arrive, and things like that. When you start thinking about your venues, like you say, here is absolutely amazing because we've got clients that come from London that are getting married here. You are so centralised, which is perfect, and obviously you've got the rooms as well. But obviously you have local people as well get married here.
Absolutely.
So we've got 2 churches. One end of the drive. 1.5 miles at the front, and one at the other end of the drive, 1.5 miles at the back. So we're
both
really
called St Luke's.
Both called St Luke's.
Honestly, has caused us some
headaches.
St Luke's that way, St Luke's that way.
And the wedding car comes, and we say, "No, you're going to St Luke's in Hodnet." No. I'm going to St Luke's up there. Oh God!
Oh dear.
So we're always right.
Do you get quite a few couples having church weddings?
Here and there, definitely. Ceremonies on site with us are the most popular. But
definitely.
The couples that do want to get married in a church, you've got the freedom to do it because they both take couples outside of catchment areas. Which is amazing. So you've got the best of both worlds in that way.
But most of our church weddings are local people.
They are local people.
Area, so
it
feels like home for them. It's more traditional because it was that tradition a long time. Well, I say a long time ago. I say a long time ago. Yeah, how old am I? A lot of people are still getting married in churches.
Because that means how old am I?
Yeah, but a lot of people are getting married in churches still. So it is that old tradition that people want, especially say for like grandparents and parents.
Yeah.
They expect you to get married in church because obviously that's what they did. But times have changed.
That's where the beauty is with our chapel. It's like getting married in a church, without the religious ceremony, but it will satisfy.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah,
is that the right word?
All parties. It'll satisfy all parties. Yeah.
And it's a big thing for our couples as well, who don't necessarily want the religious ceremony, but then they've got their parents or grandparents who are very insistent on it. But then their parents walk into that chapel, and then they're happy.
They're blown away by it.
But I think the one thing, again, when you start thinking about the order of the day as well, I think one thing that we love here, it's so well organised that it's so seamless. So when obviously the bride is finished getting ready up in the getting ready room, and they come down to obviously getting married, and literally you got straight away you're on it with the confetti, because we love the confetti shots, and then straight round and you've got the amazing view of the house, and you can do the big group shot.
Absolutely.
And then, like we say, there's so many different areas around the building and outdoors that you can have family shots done. Obviously with your open days you have so many different types of entertainment outside as well, so you've got obviously clay pigeons shooting, and you've got
crazy
that real
golf.
my god,
it's whatever they want really. It's, we're open to everything.
Even fireworks as well. I mean, I've done a wedding here where they have fireworks, and it was absolutely amazing.
It is.
Those guys were brilliant.
Just finishes the day, or kind of finishes the day, because it's mid evening, let's say, but it does.
It's just
put the icing on the cake.
Absolutely.
And again, a lot of venues don't allow that as well for fireworks and things like that. They don't allow. I know one venue, they don't allow things like bouncy castles on their lawn, because if everyone has a bouncy castle, then it ruins their grass and things like that. So. Well, it's really important when you're thinking about your day, what entertainment you have, and can they fit that in, like bands and things like that. Can they cater for a band and a DJ, because that limits the space in their room. But here, because you've got so much room, that it's just it works so well. So again, when you're thinking about venues, think about the whole day. Have I got room for this? Have I got room for that? What can I do with say how many guests? Because again, when people are planning their wedding, they've got a rough idea of how many guests they want. So again, it's obviously your budget, how many people that they want to invite. Obviously you want to invite the world, but it's realistically how many can you hold, roughly how many can you have here for wedding breakfast?
So again, it would depend on which room we were using, but so the ballroom, dependent on table configuration, it could be 109 or 120, which is just really a perfect number. For the wedding breakfast. You can bring outside guests in for the evening, we can add more on, but we do have our larger spaces, but again, that would mean turning the room.
Yes.
And not ideal for everybody.
No.
We can do it, and we certainly have done it, and we will continue to do it.
It looks amazing when it is done.
So we can do 170.
170,
Yeah. But we did our first time visit here actually was a lockdown wedding. And they had 30 people. So they got married in the chapel. They had a huge TV screen, so they had I think 50 people watching it via Zoom. And that was just it was so lovely. And they obviously had their wedding breakfast in the ballroom. Just had one long narrow table. And even though they only had 30 people, it didn't feel really sparse or anything like that. It just it was absolutely beautiful. That was Christmas time as well, so you had all the huge trees out. Obviously you go OTT with
real trees.
real trees.
We love Christmas.
They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think I was here last December, and my god, the trees were absolutely amazing.
Well, we used last year, because we changed the real trees that we have in the main rooms. We changed twice. Because obviously we put them up quite early, so we've got to allow for the pine needles. So we stripped them down, we put them up again. I think we used 34 trees last Christmas because
Wow.
of obviously bedrooms. We dress bedrooms for bedroom stays.
Yeah.
Christmas days as well. So yeah, Christmas trees are a big thing for us.
Yeah. So let's talk food, because the food here is absolutely, whenever we got it, is absolutely amazing. So in terms of like kind of tasters and things like that, so how long before they get married are they kind of booked in to do kind of tasters, and what about the menus? Have you kind of set menus? Does it depend on kind of which time of year, or?
So definitely with our menus we have based them seasonally. So we have our autumn winter, our spring summer, and then we have an all year round, which just means that everyone's happy throughout the entire year. And a lot of those are based of course like on what's in season in terms of produce. So we have our kitchen garden on site. So a lot of the vegetables that we grow for our restaurant, like our daily restaurant use, we incorporate into our wedding menus in that sense of what works well with us and in terms of what we can offer the guests. I personally love the beef Wellington, I'm not going to lie. I think most of our couples do as well.
It's one of the most popular dishes.
Because it is
chosen,
just, but it's a classic wedding breakfast, and I think that's what a lot of the dishes are. They're very classic.
Yes.
So in terms of like wedding menu tasters and things like that, we do recommend couples to potentially start looking around the 6 months prior.
6 months.
If couples are real keen beans, then maybe a year in advance if they want to have something in terms of that time of year, so they're reflective of the weather. But what I would say is nice and comfy between that 6 months to 12 weeks prior. Because it just, you know what's going to work well. You know what you can offer your guests in terms of like what you want to put on your invitations. And if you want to offer a choice menu, you've got the flexibility and the time for those conversations to happen, really.
It's amazing that you've got your own garden then, so everything's all homegrown local produce, which I think for sustainability and your carbon footprint is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. In terms of supporting local, I mean, the cheese comes from down the road.
Can't get much local than that.
We're very focused on supporting all the local providers in the area, definitely.
So our head gardener, he's developed a planting schedule so that the chef knows exactly what's been planted, what's in seed, what's going to be ready, when he can crop it, so they can go and forage daily. So our menus do change on a daily basis for the restaurant as to what can be picked. But that's
we always have a chef snack.
Oh yeah, a chef snack.
As long as we get a taster.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, you've got the 2 donkeys at the front. All the animals you have, they're beautiful. You get to see them as they come in. You can see it hasn't been too long since you've had the donkeys, is it?
Just before Christmas.
Just before Christmas.
End of November.
End of November. So we've got Ellie and Jasmine. Ellie, has the fat belly. She's not pregnant, she's just fat.
She's just fat.
Ellie with the belly. And
Ellie
Jasmine,
with the belly.
and we've got our 3 llamas, Fred, Ginger and Snowflake. So they've been with us since day one, really. They've been here for 5 years nearly.
Wow.
And we're all slightly obsessed with them, I'd say.
Definitely. Definitely. The donkeys, whenever you go out towards them, just start eeyoing straight away. But again, it's a lovely photo opportunity, isn't it?
But again, it's that home touch, isn't it? I remember there was another venue we go to sometimes, and they used to have turkeys in a farm nearby. So they have an outdoor service, and all you hear is that and they all start gobbling. And it's right in the middle of Barrows. That's quite fine, but it's nice. You say you've got the donkeys. It's that real family thing. So things like you mentioned dogs before. So can dogs come and?
We are dog friendly. There are some spaces that we won't allow dogs. Just we've got wooden floorboards in a lot of the rooms, the saloon and the ballroom. So there are no dogs in those rooms. We're happy for people if they want to bring their dogs for a wedding. Great, because some of them are the ring bearers, and they look absolutely fab. But just bear in mind that somebody's got to look after the dog for the rest of the day. So it's sometimes better to have your dog at the most important bit. They've delivered the ring. you've had the photos, and then have somebody to look after it, because it's not, it's
a long day for them.
It is a long day.
Oh my God,
yeah, definitely. And you don't want to be worrying about whether they're okay or not.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Well, in terms of kind of the best advice you could probably give a couple when they first start planning, what would be kind of the best advice you could probably give to someone?
Venues and booking venues and
putting you on a spot now.
Even on the day.
I mean, I just think when you're looking at a venue, just go with your heart.
Oh
no, it's
it's true.
It's you. Hopefully, you're only going to do this once. Yeah. It's got to be right.
Yeah.
And if it takes 2 years, 3 years to plan it, then that's how long it takes.
Yeah. I think that's another thing, isn't it? Because some people like to plan maybe 12 months and go, actually, I'm going to get married this year. And then obviously some people go, actually like to get married 2-3 years time. But then when you start finding that venue and you start thinking about budget, I always think it's nice that you think, well, actually, I just want to have that venue, maybe limit on numbers a little bit, so I can have that perfect venue that offers me absolutely everything. Yeah. Or maybe delay that a little bit, so you can then go, actually, I know that's the venue I want, and then just manage to save that little bit extra to have that venue.
There's no wrong way of doing it.
No,
not at all.
I mean, we've held weddings that we've done the shortest possible time span, and
I think our shortest record was 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks in 2021.
So that's some achievement. Go on, guys.
But so whatever the bride and groom want, if they book now, we've taken booking for 2026.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah,
you've got loads of time to plan.
Yeah.
But also equally, if you want. No, not August, September this year, but October.
But October,
if you wanted October this year, we can do. But that time span is whatever's happy, whatever you're happy with.
Do you find a lot of people now thinking about it a little bit midweek, or maybe a little bit out of season? So
definitely, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has become a lot more popular this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, with anything going on with a kind of sort of living crisis or something, it just helps out. It's that little extra.
Yeah. And again, if this is the perfect venue, and you can get this venue for a little bit less by doing it on a Monday.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because I know obviously you've got the chapel, which is the main kind of place to get married, but you've also got the other kind of room just at the top of the tapestry. Yeah,
so it's slightly smaller, but it makes it just that little bit more intimate, I think. Still a really beautiful room.
Oh yeah, it is.
But if not used, the marbling up there is just, it's the perfect backdrop for like your portrait photos and things like that.
Definitely.
But you've got the choice, so.
Yeah.
A lot of our couples do choose the chapel.
Choose the chapel.
But some couples still choose the tapestry, and they're the most beautiful ceremonies up there, especially like
we had
Christmas
one last
time.
week, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw the photos from there. They looked amazing.
But also you've got that double aspect staircase, which a lot of couples dress with the flowers.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
It does. Just lends itself.
Seeing every single room done up is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, especially when we come on the back in January, just gone. Red Floral did an absolutely amazing job of doing up the place.
But that's with them specifically. They've got that creative mindset. They just go for it. We don't.
They go all out, don't they? They just go absolutely.
Yeah. We know
they are stunning.
They will just go for it. Yeah.
They've got real vision, haven't they?
Yeah.
But no, I say thank you for coming on. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the coffee.
We'll be here very shortly. Actually, we'll be here this summer, so it's going to be nice to come back.
Here in April. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the JOL Wedding Podcast. Share this podcast with anyone you know who is on the journey of planning a wedding. Check out other episodes of this podcast as well as links to our social media platforms at the JOL Wedding Podcast.